Venus in the sixth house, care and daily life. Welcome to Venus in the sixth house in synastry. In this overlay, we explore what happens when one person's Venus falls into another person's sixth house, the house of daily routine, health, work, service, and the quiet structures that sustain a life. This overlay is often underestimated because it is not dramatic. It does not produce the intensity of the eighth house or the romance of the fifth. What it does produce is something arguably rarer, the experience of being genuinely cared for in the everyday. In a world that prizes grand gestures, Venus in the sixth house makes a case for the significance of the small ones. The sixth house governs the rituals of daily life, the morning routines, the work habits, the ways we maintain the body and manage the practical dimensions of existence. It is the house of service in its most grounded form. Not service as sacrifice, but service as loving attention to what keeps life functioning. When Venus lands here, those acts of daily care become infused with affection. From the Venus person's perspective, there is a natural inclination to be helpful, to tend, to take care of the house person in practical ways. They may bring meals, notice when the house person is tired, offer assistance without needing to be asked. This is not performance. It is a genuine expression of Venus's love through the language of the sixth house, which is service. From the house person's perspective, the Venus person often feels like someone who makes life run more smoothly and more beautifully. There is a sense of being attended to, of someone noticing the details. The house person may also find that their relationship with work, health, or daily routine is gently improved by the Venus person's influence. At its warmest, this overlay creates a partnership that works, in the most literal sense. The two people can collaborate well, maintain a shared environment with care and ease, and support each other through the practical demands of life. The relationship has a quality of reliability and tenderness that is deeply sustaining over time. This overlay is also associated with wellness. The Venus person may encourage the house person toward better health habits, a more pleasurable relationship with their body, or a gentler approach to self-care. There is often a shared enjoyment of the rituals of physical well-being, cooking beautiful food, taking long walks, creating order in shared space. It is worth pausing here to consider what traditional astrology tells us about this placement, because the sixth house is not neutral terrain, and Venus is not a neutral visitor within it. In Hellenistic and traditional practice, the sixth house is one of the cadent houses considered intrinsically unfortunate, a house of illness, servitude, and difficulty, and one that sits in aversion to the ascendant, meaning it does not aspect the chart's most vital point. It is the house in which Mercury finds its joy, not Venus. Mercury's joy here speaks to the house's affinity for precision, discernment, analysis, and the kind of painstaking attention to detail that keeps systems running. These are not Venusian qualities. Venus rules by harmony, pleasure, beauty, and relatedness. And she enters the sixth house as a guest in a space that does not naturally speak her language. The resonance runs deeper still. The sixth house is the natural house of Virgo, and Venus is in her fall in Virgo. This is not a coincidence to be glossed over. When a planet is in fall, it is in the sign opposite its exaltation, the place where its essential nature is most at odds with its environment. Venus exalts in Pisces, a sign of dissolution, unconditional love, and merging. Virgo, and by extension the sixth house, asks for discernment, criticism, and refinement, the very impulses that can quietly erode what Venus most wants to create. In synastry, this means that even when the Venus person's intentions are warm and genuine, the sixth house environment may subtly distort their expression. Love may arrive dressed as correction. Affection may be filtered through the language of improvement. The gift may come with conditions the giver does not even realize they are attaching. However, there are tensions worth naming. The sixth house is the house of duty, and Venus here can sometimes slip from care into criticism. Venus, after all, has a high aesthetic sense. In the sixth house, that sense may express itself not only as appreciation, but as a noticing of what could be improved in the house person's habits, their environment, their health choices. If not handled with awareness, appreciation can edge toward correction. There is also the risk of the relationship becoming functional to the point of losing its feeling. When two people organize their connection primarily around what needs to be done and who can help, the romantic dimension can quietly fade. The sixth house is not naturally romantic. It is caring, yes, but care without tenderness can begin to feel like management. The house person, over time, may also grow tired of being attended to in ways that feel slightly presumptuous. The Venus person's helpfulness is genuine, but the house person must want that kind of help. When the house person values autonomy over assistance, what feels like care to one person may feel like interference to another. At its highest expression, this overlay creates a relationship of loving service, one in which both people feel supported, healthy, and genuinely useful to one another. The Venus person brings beauty and warmth to the house person's daily world, and the house person gives the Venus person a place where their capacity to care is truly valued. When balanced, Venus in the sixth house creates tenderness in the everyday, practical partnership and a loving attentiveness to each other's well-being. When imbalanced, it can slide into criticism, excessive caretaking, or the erosion of romance by routine. At its core, this overlay is about love made practical and the quiet devotion of choosing, every day, to take care of someone.
This was Venus in the sixth house in Synastry Overlays. Thank you for listening. Next, Venus in the seventh house.